Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name's Stephanie, and I'm so happy to have you here with me today. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, I would love it if you'd click that little button and stick around for a little while. I have a bunch of fun projects on the way. Today I want to show you how I made this rustic picture frame all from Dollar Tree materials. For this project, I'll be making 4 picture frames, so I'm going to be using 4 of the 5x7 and 4 of the 8x10 stretched canvases and the rotary cutter tool, all from Dollar Tree. The first step is to remove all the canvases from the wooden frames. I do this by using the rotary cutter and cutting along the outside of the staples on the back of each canvas. Be sure not to throw the canvases away because we will be using them later on in the project. And once I have all the canvas material removed, I pull off the excess material from around the staples. Now that all the wooden frames are material free, I take some Krylon Dark Vintage Antiquing Wax, a wax brush, and a baby wipe, and use it to stain all 8 frames. To make the rustic embellishments for the frames, I use a scrap piece of cardboard, 32 flat tacks, and some Rust-Oleum metallic oil rubbed bronze spray paint. I push the tacks halfway into the cardboard and take them outside and give them one good coat of the Rust-Oleum spray paint. To assemble each frame, I'm using one of the 5x7 frames and one of the 8x10 frames and some of the Crafter's Square twine. To attach the 2 frames together, I start by cutting out 4 pieces of twine at about 12 inches long. I then flip over the 8x10 frame and hot glue one of the pieces of twine in the corner. I then flip the frame back over and center the 5x7 frame inside the 8x10 frame. And then I hot glue the twine in the corner of the front of the 5x7 frame and then to the front corner of the 8x10 frame, wrapping it all the way around back to the spot where I started on the back. I repeated these steps on all 4 corners of both frames, making sure to keep the 5x7 frame as centered as possible. Now that all 4 frames were put together, I decided to use a lighter and singe off the flyaways on the twine, and to give it a more rustic look. This step is completely optional, and if you decide to do it, please be very careful. After the tacks are dry, I put one in each of the 4 corners on both the 8x10 and 5x7 frames. I tried to center them as best as possible in each of the corners. The wood is super soft on these frames, so the tacks are super easy to push in. And if you do end up messing up like I did in one of the corners, they're easy to remove with just a pair of scissors. Next, I took the small canvases from the 5x7 frames, and I took some pictures that I had printed and hot glued the pictures on the center of each canvas. Once I had all my pictures in place on the canvases, I took my frame, flipped it over, and hot glued the canvas on the back of the 5x7, making sure the picture was centered. Once the canvas was glued to the frame, I took the scissors and cut a small square around the twine in each corner. I did this so I wouldn't accidentally cut into the twine when I was using the rotary tool to cut around the edges to remove the excess canvas. Here's how all 4 frames turned out once they were all finished. I absolutely love how they turned out. They look so rustic, and they each only cost about $2 and some change to make. I hope you love this project as much as I do, and if you do, please give me a big thumbs up and make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'll see you next time.